Hey guys, one of the 704 things that I feel like I really need to work on for One Pocket is my safeties. Not necessarily just two-way shots in One Pocket, but just flat out safeties. And hang on, I gotta get my chalk. It's the problem with having this super mega expensive chalk because I don't just leave it laying around like I used to. Yesterday, I was concentrating very well, and those are the kind of times I have to take advantage of that concentration because stuff like this is really boring to me when I'm not concentrating, and I lose patience really quickly. Today, well, it's 11:24, and this is my worst day of the year. It always is, and we'll just leave it at that. So I'm not concentrating very well, but we'll see how this works. I was playing this game yesterday where it's, in my little fantasy game is I'm playing against myself. We're giving each other 1-to-1, and fouls don't count. Or if this guy sells that a shot and the other guy makes it, he loses the game. Shit like that. And it deteriorated. Eventually, it deteriorated down to this. To a situation about like this. So this guy wants to get the cue ball back over here so he doesn't sell out. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago is you don't just try to kick one rail back down into here. You can kick into the scratch. If you kick on this side of the pocket, you can come in a little bit too hot and roll out and maybe sell something out that way. If you come in and hit these balls exactly wrong, you can even scratch. So you learn that the way to kick is to kick at this point over here. And that's what I ended up doing. And I was concentrating and hitting the balls pretty well. And the game just kind of deteriorated into just doing this over and over again. Fouls don't count. I'm just trying not to sell out a shot. And after, I don't know, 5 or 10 times each of just doing this, it got boring even for me on a day when I was concentrating really well. Well, this could never end unless I make a mistake. I remember one time, I don't remember the gist, but I was watching a pay-per-view, and the announcers were talking about, it's such a boring game. One Pocket is such a boring game, for the uninitiated and stuff like that. And Nick Varner was one of the announcers, and he was talking about one time that he was playing Buddy Hall in One Pocket, and Buddy said, "Man, this game is taking too long." And Nick's response to Buddy Hall was, "Well, if you just make a mistake, then the game wouldn't last very long after that." That was kind of funny. So as long as I don't make a mistake, and my only goal is don't sell out a shot, this can go on forever. This can just go on forever. I don't like that. So I'm thinking, okay, what's better? Establish that kicking one rail isn't any good. Kicking two rails, where this is the second rail, it's safer. But am I really getting anything out of it? It's going to be very hard to tie up my opponent kicking this way into this rail. My speed would just have to be perfect. I would have to kick off the rail, come in, hit here, have perfect speed, and get tucked in here, something like this. And then they don't have that same shot again. That was really all I was thinking about. Don't give them that same shot again, Dave. Well, I don't have perfect speed control, and every table is different. But what I do know is on this table, if I aim at this third diamond right here with top left, it's not going to go 3 rails and scratch like the books say, because the books were all written for gold crowns and gandies and things like that. They weren't written for diamonds. When they talk about the diamond system, I know that on this table, top left at that diamond is going to come in and hit about here. It's going to come this way, hit this rail, bounce maybe towards this mess, and maybe get hooked back there. At the very least, I'm accomplishing the same thing I've been accomplishing with my 2-rail kick. But with this way, which ends up being a 4-rail kick, I got a chance to not leave that same shot for the guy. So we just shoot it, top left, to the angle that it comes in at is going to give it the chance to come in here and snuggle up. Didn't quite do it. I probably needed to hit a little bit higher in that time to get that to happen. And so in this case, I've left the same stupid shot again. I didn't want to, and the odds were not as good that I would leave the same stupid shot, but I did. Really drilled the shit out of that ball, didn't I? We're going to pretend I don't totally suck, just for demonstration purposes. We're going to pretend that I got the cue ball down here somewhere. This time I'm going to shoot the same shot again, but I'm going to try to hit a little bit higher on this rail. That means I need to go this way, that way, a little bit on this rail. Yeah, I feel like my stroke is fairly consistent, probably from all the bank pull that I play. And I feel like once I get something down, like a kick like this, I came in like almost exactly the same spot. Almost snuggled in. Almost snuggled in. I'm gonna try this for the millionth time. Or the third time, depending on how you're counting. A little bit higher. Still not in. Okay, that time I got in there. Didn't leave the guy that shot. That same shot. So now the guy's got to do, once you get here again, now he's got to go off this rail, and then that rail, and then maybe this rail, and snuggle up down here. This is the kind of really boring stuff that has to be practiced if you ever want to be a top level 1 pocket player. I'm not a top level 1 pocket player, but I want to be. So I have to practice stuff like this, even when I don't feel like practicing boring ass safeties. Alright, sold out the game right there. Why did I sell out the game right there? Well, because I hit it bad. I hit it with left English and didn't think I needed left English. Or didn't think I could get there without left English. Easy for me to say. So now I know this is why we practice. Shoot the same shot again. This is such a judgment call. This is why I have to practice stuff like this. I might have hit this ball perfect yesterday, but that was a whole day ago, and it wasn't 11:24 yesterday. So I've forgotten. I've forgotten exactly where I'm aiming, going off this diamond in this case. What's my line? What feels right? I try to play by feel a lot. I try without any English. I come in, and I'm going to consider that to be a decent shot. And again, fouls don't count. And now this guy's got the same stupid kick again. Almost has enough to where I can massay, but what good does that do me? Wouldn't do me any good at all. I have this 4-rail kick that I know will get me where I want to go. And it's coming there. So now this 12 is froze to the cue ball. The cue ball is froze to 12, another way of saying it. I don't have the 1-rail kick. I don't have the 2-rail kick. I don't have the 3-rail route, which ends up being a 4th rail. I don't have this thing that it said. This guy here that just shot this ball just made a game-winning shot. Hasn't quite won the game yet. But what is he supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? These are the kind of things that I always try to look out for. Is, can I come up with a game-winning shot? And I'm over in this situation, really all I'm trying to do is don't sell out the game. I didn't see. If I really got snuggled in there, I've cut off all routes to get the cue ball back here. at this point, this guy has to end up being super boring and doing stuff like that. And the next guy comes up, moves balls further away from the pocket. It just gets tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. And it ends up being to where that kick that snuggled the cue ball up in here ends up being a game-winning shot. Pretty cool. It's nice to know. It's a nice feeling to have when you go like, well, I just won the game. Now the rest is just a formality. It's pretty cool. And I guess I'm at the level where usually once I get that feeling, I'm usually right. Unless I screw up, you know, sometimes there's going to be stuff I didn't see, or sometimes they're just awesome. Say I was playing somebody awesome, and I left them like this. They have no way to do this. They didn't feel like taking it intentional. Actually, tell you what, let's do it this way. You'd still think all those routes are cut off, and those routes are, but there's another route. From here, I can see up this rail a little bit, just a little bit. And one of the shots that, you know, I've learned over the years is I can kick into that one. I can kick off here and then go 1, 2, 3 rails, maybe 4 back to here. I know that it's a possible shot. I'm not the master of the shot. One of the other things I learned about is that there has to be right English on it. I'm going to shoot this without any English. The first time, I'm going to try to kick into here to establish that round the table route. I'm just going to try that kick. Oops. And not foul. Yep. Remember, practice table. Practice table. So we're going to do this. Come down. Yeah, the point I was trying to make is you're not going to have no speed on a damn shot. I am not going to have no speed on a damn shot, especially with a hurt thumb. I can't power it up. That was on a decent line, but no way. If I shoot the same way, of course I have to adjust my contact point on this rail a little bit because I'm going to put a buttload of right English on it. But really at this speed, there's an old saying, speed kills English. At this speed, I can almost aim it at the exact same spot. I'm just trying to kick into here. But this time, when I go under there, the cue ball is going to have what is going to be running English at that point. And so I can go in there. This is right English. And then it can come around and come down. And you go, yeah, good damn shot, Dave. And, you know, that was a good shot. The thing I was going to show before I digressed into that was if somebody's unbelievably good and or desperate and you do this to them, they don't want to take a foul. I don't know, maybe there's a ball here. I'm probably dirtying up the example, but another possibility that they can try if they don't have anything better to do is some kind of a jump. Does that make any sense? I tried to do that left-handed. That was horrible. Something like that. It was a good shot. Wish I'd have done it the first time. You see what I did though? So you're not always completely and totally 100% going to win the damn game just because you made a good game-winning shot. Sometimes people are really good. Sometimes people are really lucky. And you know, if I was playing Tony Chonak, who probably would have been the one to do that against me, made my ball and didn't sell out, shake his damn hand. Good shot, Tony, Dick. That'd be about it. And so that's this little video. I'm going to attempt, I got to leave before too long, but I'll probably get this in the publishing queue anyway. I've got these videos that are out there for all my cue brands and stuff. I just made a bunch of them just to basically pad out the next, pad out a couple of weeks so I wouldn't have the pressure of having to make a video. But those aren't my real content, they're just there. I'm trying to put out some real content, and that's what this is. The, I think the main point of this little video was coming in at an angle that gives me at least a chance to come in like this. Remember, the balls. Gives me a better chance to come in like this and really tie up my opponent is much better than coming in at any other angle, which doesn't give me as much of a chance of tying up my opponent. And I guess that's my summary and that's my video. Bye guys.